Okay, so a very good evening to everyone. Today we are going to start our today's class with a new topic and the new chapter. Okay, so before starting the chapter, please let me know through this technical poll whether I am audible and visible to you or not. Just a minute. Okay, so here is the poll. Please let me know whether I am audible and visible to you or not properly or not. Okay, great then. So let's start with our today's topic. So as you know, our today's topic is the new chapter, that is strategies for the enhancement of the food production. So here we are going, in this chapter, we are going to discuss the new strategies, the new ideas and methods which we are using to fulfill the need, the food needs of our population. As you know, as the time passes, the population is increasing, right? Nowadays, the population is very high. As you can see in this picture in the background, there are so many fishes. As the number of individual increases day by day, their need for food also increases, right? Their need for food also increases. When the need of food increases, we have to move towards the more agricultural yield and the animal husbandry, because the two major sources of food is plant and the animal, right? So we have to obtain the food through these two sources only. So in this chapter, we are going to discuss all those methods which help us to enhance the yield through the agriculture and the animal husbandry, so that we can fulfill the need of our population, or we can say the increasing population, right? So in today's class, we are going to discuss about the animal husbandry, the dairy management. In animal husbandry, whatever comes up is all about the animal. So dairy management, animal breeding, cross breeding experiments, apiculture and the sea culture. So these will be our today's topic which we are going to discuss. Okay, so let's start with our first topic, that is the animal husbandry in Hindi, which is also known as pashu palan, right? Palan, that means rearing. When we go for the term, this Hindi term palan, that means nurturing, right? The nurturing something. We have to rear and taking care of the animals to produce the maximum amount of product which is of our use, right? So this animal husbandry, it is a scientific agriculture, but not of what? The plants. It is the breeding and rearing of the livestock, that is living organism. And in this specifically, we are talking about the animals only, right? So this animal husbandry is the breeding and raising of the livestock, that is animals. And in this animal husbandry, we deal with the care and the breeding of livestock, the animals which are included in this animal husbandry is buffalo, cows, pigs, horses, cattle. Cattle include all these dairy animals, that is buffalo, cow, ox, bull, sheep, camels, goats, etc. But why we need to take care of them? Why we need to breed them? We need to take care of them so that they remain healthy throughout the life. If the individual is healthy, then it will give rise to a healthy individual, right? So that if the parents are healthy, only then we are able to get the offspring healthy. We have to increase their population, right? To fulfill the demand. As the number of individual increases, their product increases, and their product increases, only then we are able to satisfy our needs, right? So we have to maintain their health. We have to maintain their health. Then the poultry farming, that is related to the birds, right? And when we are doing the poultry farming, we are rearing the birds, we are breeding the birds for eggs and और किसके लिए यूज करते हैं, for which we are using the birds or the poultry farming? The eggs and anyone wants to tell? Eggs and meat, right? Eggs and meat, or we can say the flesh. Okay. And the third is the fishery. According to the data which we have, it says the India and China together have more than 70% population of the livestock. This is a huge amount, right? So only two countries, we can say only two countries have the whole world's more than 70% population of livestock within themselves. But still, they are only contributing to the 25% of the need. Okay, this is very sarcastic, ironic situation that we are holding more than 70% of the livestock, but on that livestock is only fulfilling the 25% of our need. Okay, because the productivity is very low. The food production is very low. Okay, so to increase the productivity, if we have the 70% livestock, that means we also have to satisfy the 70% need, right? For that, we have to increase the production of our product. We have to increase the yield, and to increase the yield, we always require the help of new technologies. Okay, and these new technologies not only improve the quality of our livestock, but also increases their productivity. Okay, is this clear to you? If it is clear to you, please use the thumbs up reaction of your which is given in the reactions, so that I get to know, yes, you are available there and you are listening to me properly and I am understandable to you. Okay, great. So as I told, this animal husbandry is dealing with the different types of livestock. The first is cattle farm. The cattle farming is done for producing milk and the beef, right? For producing the milk, or we can say the dairy product and the beef. Whereas poultry farming is related to the birds, from which we obtain the eggs and meat. The third branch is apiculture. Apiculture is related to the beekeeping. It is related to the beekeeping, and having the beekeeping or doing the beekeeping is very beneficial to us because it doesn't require so much of maintenance. The only thing, the bee is helpful for us by producing the honey and also helping in pollination. Okay, and the last field of animal husbandry is the fish farming. See, here we have two types of farming relating to this animal husbandry. One is aquaculture and another is pisciculture. Okay, another is pisciculture. If we only talk about the fishes, then we are going to discuss the pisciculture. But if we are going to talk about the aquaculture, in aquaculture, we are going to talk about all the aquatic organisms, right? So let us discuss these all the different fields of this animal husbandry in detail. So before going to that, you have a question, and the question is, animal husbandry does not deal with which of the following? Okay, it is a very simple question. You have to just find out the one option which is not dealing with the animal husbandry, and your options A is cow, B plants, C prawns, and D fishes. You can give your answer through this MCQ poll which I am launching. So here is your poll. Please give your answer through this coal. Okay. Okay, so as you have already given your answer, and your answer is option B. Very good. So this is your result, and I'm very happy with your answer, because the option B is plant. And as we are talking about animal husbandry, the term itself says animals only involved in that particular process. So the plants cannot be their part, right? So plant is the answer. Now we are moving towards the first field of animal husbandry, that is dairy management. That is, here we are going to talk about the rearing and caring of cattle, right? Rearing and caring of cattle to produce as much as possible dairy products, right? So let us move further. So this field, the dairy farming, is related to the management of animals for increasing yield and quality of milk and its product, right? Milk is related to the dairy, and milk products are the dairy products, right? It includes curd, ghee, cheese, right? Cottage cheese, everything which is favorite for you is coming from this dairy farming. And this milk yield depends on the quality of the breed, which quality of or which breed of cattle we are having determines the amount of milk yield. Okay, so as you know, the desi breeds are not so productive, right? They are not milching. Milching means the animals who are producing milk, right? The quantity of milk is less as compared to the hybrids like the Jersey, right? Those Jersey cows, which are the hybrids, which are imported from the outer countries, have the high milching tendency. So along now we need to improve this, right? We have to make the hybrid with our desi cows so that the milk production increases. Along with that, in dairy farming, we are not only focusing on the production of milk. Apart from that, we want to increase or improve their health, so that we have to make them disease resistant. Okay, so the main goals of the dairy farming is high yielding potential. That means we have to increase the product potential of a cattle and make them resistant to disease, so that throughout their life they remain healthy and give rise to the healthy progeny. Okay, so there are several ways through which we can yield the potential, the production potential in our animal. So first is the look after the cattle. Obviously, if we are looking after the cattle, we are paying complete attention towards them. We are providing them proper shelter. We are providing them adequate amount of water. We are also taking care of their health, hygiene, right? If we are saying about looking after the cattle, that means housing well, that means providing them a good shelter, right? Adequate water and maintain disease free environment. Not only keeping your animals clean, also keep the environment clean for themselves, for so that they remain healthy. Nice. Second is feeding the cattle. That means we have to take care of their nutrient value. The food which we are providing to them has a sufficient amount of nutrient or not. Depending on the breed of the cattle, we have to provide them different types of fodder. Fodder is the product, is a food which we are providing. It is usually the plant products, right? So we have to maintain their nutrition quality by providing them an adequate amount and exact quality, or we can say the sufficient type of a fodder. Then, as I said, the stringent cleanliness and hygiene. We have to maintain the hygienic condition of animal as well as their surrounding in which they are present. Okay. Now, this hygiene is not only related to animal and surrounding itself. If we are producing the milk, if we are obtaining the milk from a cow or buffalo, we have to keep our hands clean, because initially when technologies are not introduced, the people used to take out the milk from the hands, right? As you can see in this picture, nowadays the suction tubes are there, which are doing, which has we can say the decrease the load of releasing or extracting the milk from the cattle, right? But initially we have to extract it out by the help of hand. So if the hands were not clean, they will definitely contaminate the milk. So we have to maintain the product hygiene as well. Now we have to provide them regular checkup through the veteran. A continuous and a regular visit of veteran is necessary, because as the climate changes and the change in the climate and season affect us, the humans, in the very same way it also affects our animals. Okay, so regular visit of veteran make them sure that the cattle is healthy, there is no infection, there is no disease. Okay, and if there is any problem, then it will be get easily sorted out. Okay, so here is your question regarding the dairy farming, and the question says, which of the following processes is given major importance in dairy farm management? Which of the following processes is given major importance in dairy farm management? Your option A is increase in yield and quality of milk. Option B, increase in the size of cattle. Option C, increase in the number of cows. And D, increase in the number of buffaloes. You have to give your answer through this poll. Please give your mention answer through this poll. Only 5 seconds left. Everyone has to give their answer. Only 50% participants have given their answer. The rest, please give your answer. Okay, so I'm ending the poll. Okay, so as you can see, you have given the answer A, option A. So option A says increasing the yield and quality of milk. See, we are doing the dairy farm. Just increase the yield of product, and the product from the dairy is the milk. The initial product is the milk, right? So we have to focus on the yield and the quality of the milk instead of increasing the cattle size. That is of no use. We don't want to increase the number of cows or buffalo. Initially we want that, we want to increase the number of cattle, but main focus is on the increasing the yield and the quality of the milk. Okay, so the next we have the poultry farming, the poultry farm management. As I told you, this poultry is related to the bird. Here we are looking for the rearing, selling and breeding of the birds. And in the poultry farming, we are basically or majorly dealing with the 4 types of birds: the chicken, ducks, goose, or we can say the geese, and the turkeys, right? These 4 birds are major concern of the poultry farming. So what do we need for a poultry farm management? What is the basic need of this? First is the selection of the disease-free and suitable breed. We always look for those birds who are resistant to disease, who never caught easy infections, right? Who breed very fast, or we can say who can lay the egg as soon as possible, right? The breeding time is very small, right? Next, the proper and safe farm condition. The same point applicable to each and every field of animal husbandry. Because if we want to obtain the high amount of product from our animals, so we have to maintain their hygiene and health. Whatever animal it is, either it is a bird, fish, bee, or a cattle, right? Because the health is a major concern. If the animal is not healthy, we are not able to produce, obtain the product. Some of you, if staying in a agricultural land or in a rural area, you have seen the people who are the farmers usually keep cattle at their place, right? As the season changes, sometimes the cattle got infection, right? They are not feeling well. So on those days when they are not feeling well, they decreases the milk production, right? They decreases the milk production. And same thing happens with the birds. They will not lay the egg on those particular days, right? Next is the proper feed and water. You have to provide them nourishment if to maintain their health. Along with the hygiene, we need to take care of their nutrient values, the hygiene and health care. So all these things, all these points keep on repeating themselves, right? So this is how the poultry farming management takes place. This is how the poultry farming management takes place initially. Initially, we need to choose the breed, right? We need to choose a specific breed for obtaining the eggs, right? Now, when we have selected the breed, that particular breed of hen is allowed to lay the eggs, okay? And this laying of eggs takes place inside the farm. They are not laying the eggs in an open area. They are laying the eggs in a what? In a farm, in a poor proper condition. When they lay the egg, whenever they lay the egg, they go for the checking of it. If the egg is fertile or it is not, right? If the egg is fertile or fertilized, sorry, if it is the fertilized egg, then they keep the eggs in the incubator so that the new chicks are formed, right? If the egg is fertilized, they are kept in incubators to develop the chick. But if the egg is not fertilized, it is unfertilized egg, then the egg is sold into the egg industry or in the market. See, eggs are used in a several ways. They can be eaten raw, they can be eaten by cook in a cooked form, or directly consumption of egg is there. Along with that, there are several baking products are formed which include the eggs in their recipe, right? So these unfertilized eggs are sent to the market, they are sent to the industries for their production, for the formation or the production of their product, so that it reaches to the consumer, right? So the basic thing is production of our product and then marketing. These are the basic terms which you follow in any of the field of our animal husbandry. So improved breed of chicken. The improved breed of chicken which we are using is Leghorn. Please keep this thing in mind and mark it a star. It is very important to learn that the improved breed of chicken which we are using is Leghorn. Okay. Now your question is, poultry birds which are exclusively grown for meat are called. Now you have to give your answer. You have to choose. If the poultry birds are exclusively grown for meat, they are known as your option A, layer, option B, cockerel, option C, rooster, option D, boiler. You have to give your answer through this poll. Give your answer. Okay, great. So here I have ended the poll and this is your result. And as everyone has given the answer and you have marked the option D, right. The boilers are the category. Boilers is the category of the birds who are used for the meat production. Okay. Now, next, what are the objectives and method used in the animal breeding? Right? We have done the two farmings, the animal husbandry, we have talked about the dairy farming. In animal husbandry, we have already talked about the poultry farm. Now we are moving towards the objectives and methods which are used for the breeding. Here we are doing the rearing and the marketing of the product in both of the things. But before that, we need the good breed, right? The initial need of these fields are the good breed, right? So here, the breed which we look for, how they are obtained, okay? So a breed, when we are talking about a breed, so breed is a group of organisms related by descent and similar general appearances. That means the animals which are belonging to a particular breed have the same structural appearance, they have the same functional, right? Their size, their features all are very similar. And breeding, whereas breeding is the modification of the genotype, here we are introducing the better genes. Here we are introducing, in this process, we are introducing the better genes in our originally present breed so that the features get improved, right? So that the features get improved. As I have talked about in cattle, we are looking for the Jersey cows because they are the highly milching cows, right? And for the chicken in the poultry farming, we have the leghorn, right? So these are the improved variety. They are the birds and the animals which is having the better features, right? Next, the aim. The aim remains the same. If from the initial slide, the aim is still the same, is to increase the yield of the product and the quality. We have to maintain the quality of an animal. That is only be maintained by keeping our animals healthy, right? Is it clear to everyone? Please show some reaction so that I got to know that everything is understandable to you. Okay, if this thing is clear to you, please give the answer to this question. The question is, which of the following is not an aspect of animal breeding? Out of these 4 points, which is not belonging to the animal breeding? Your option A says, improve desirable qualities of breed. Option B says, increasing the yield. Option C says, making diseased organism. And option D says, making disease resistant breed. Okay, very good, Devagri. Devandri, you have given a quick response in the chat box, and the rest, please give your answer through this poll. So here is the poll. Please give your answer. Okay, great. So everyone has given their answer and you have marked the option C. Okay, let's see all the options first. A says the improved desirable quality of breed. This is the main motto behind the animal breeding, that we always want a good breed. Option B says increasing the yield. Yes, that is also our basic concept behind the animal husbandry, to make an improved quality and good quality, right? Option C says making disease organism. Why we need to make a disease organism? If an organism remains diseased, it will not produce the product. But in animal husbandry, we want the product. We want to increase the product. So this is the point which is not dealing with the animal breeding. And everyone has given correct answer. I'm very happy. So very good for your correct answer. Now we are moving towards the type of breeding. Here we have two types of breeding process: inbreeding and outbreeding. So we have known that inbreed, that means the similar kind of organism, right? So when we are talking about the inbreeding, that is within a species बात हो रही है यहाँ पे. Here we are choosing the animals from a same breed, from a same species, right? But when we are talking about the outbreeding, here we can use the different species, but obviously the breed would not remain the same. Species may remain the same, but breed would not remain the same. In inbreeding, breed is always remain the same, but in outbreeding, breed would never remain the same. So let's go for our first method, that is inbreeding. So inbreeding, what happens? In inbreeding, we are looking for those organisms, we are looking for those individuals who are from the same breed, who are belonging to the same breed and also have the common ancestor, right? Yani we are talking about in a family, एक ही family में बात कर रहे हैं, जिनकी 4 से 6 generation एक जैसी हो, right? So in breeding, we are talking within the family. Here we are talking about within a family. Only if in a family the 2 generations are found same, a common ancestor is here, right? Common ancestor is present here, right? So what is this breeding strategy? It says we have to find out the superior male and female from the family. We have to find out the superior male and the superior female, right? If we are talking about the superior male, as you can see here, he has to be super fertile. That means producing a good amount of sperm or semen. If we are looking for the super female, that means it has to be highly milching, right? Because we are talking about cattle here. So in cattle, if we are looking for a super fertile male, then the amount of semen produced has to be high. The body buildup of that organism has to be high, strong way. And in the female, that female has to be highly milching, right? That is milk producing. So what happens? To evaluate the progeny obtained, we introduce or we look for the mating of these superior males and the females. We only go for the mating of these superior males and females for up to like 4 to 5 generations, right? Why we are doing this process, or why we are repeating this process for 4 to 5 generation? So that this process is repeated for the 4 to 5 generation, so that we can obtain homozygosity. Homozygosity of what? Of the superior characters, right? You know that superior character can be found in a heterozygous condition. Everyone has done the Mandel law of inheritance. So the dominant character can be found, can express itself in homozygous as well as heterozygous condition. But we don't want heterozygous condition, because in heterozygous we always have the recessive gene, right? So we always want the 100% dominant gene in each and every generation. So we go for this inbreeding process for up to 4 to 5 generation continuously, so that the homozygous superior breed can be obtained. Is this concept clear to you? Why we are repeating this inbreeding for up to 4 to 5 generation? If it is clear, please use the thumbs up reaction. Guys, show some reaction. Okay, so as I said, we want to increase the homozygosity. Homozygosity of what? The dominant characters, right? The dominant character, the superior character, to obtain a pure line variety. Okay, but this inbreeding, okay, this inbreeding also have some disadvantage. We will discuss it later. So advantage is it exposes harmful recessive genes. If we continue the process, if we repeat the process for 4 to 5 generations, then what happens? If recessive gene is present there, which is having a negative effect on the population, it will shown up, right? The third point says it helps in the accumulation of superior gene and elimination of less desirable gene. That is only happening by obtaining the homozygosity. Now, this continuous a repetition of inbreeding always lead to the expression of recessive gene. This is what I have seen. So this expression of recessive genes sometimes decreases the fertility, right? Sometimes decreases the fertility. So what will be the solution? Because we want the superior males and females every time. So for this, we always go for the one round of outcross. Okay, we always go for the one round of outcross. See, we have repeated this inbreeding for the 5 generation. After 5 generation, we go for one outcrossing, outbreeding. Okay. So after this outbreeding, what happened? The recessive character will go away. That the negative effect will be get completely removed. Okay. So how to solve this problem? The mate selected animals with unrelated superior animals. See, we have done the outbreeding here. We are choosing the animal from the another breed or who is not of same family, right? They are not having the common ancestor. No common ancestor is there, right? So now we have the second method of animal breeding, that is the outbreeding. The outbreeding itself found in 3 different stages: outcrossing, crossbreeding, and interspecies hybridization. Let's have a quick look to this. Outcrossing means we are making the mating the animals of the same breed, but they do not have any common ancestor. And this mating also go up to 4 to 6 generation. We always look for those individuals who are not having common ancestor in the back 4 to 6 generation, right? And the offsprings which are produced during this mating are known as outcross. What is the advantage of this outcrossing? This gives us the best method for animal having low milk productivity, growth rate in beef, cattle, etc. Right? It also help in overcoming the inbreeding depression. This is what I told you. This is what the solution we have looked for. We always go for the outbreeding, that is the outcrossing here. Then we have the crossbreeding. In this crossbreeding, we take 2 different breeds. Species remain the same, but breed become different. So we take the male from one breed and the female from the another breed. Now we made them. As you can see here, first is our Holstein, another is our Jersey. Now we make their cross. The one which obtained is VR, that is Viking Red. Nice. So in the second round, we have done the crossing of Viking Red with this hybrid. Now the next one obtained is a tribrid, right? So this is how we keep on incorporating the features, the characters of different breeds into a particular organism by mating them with the animal of different breeds, right? So desirable qualities of two different breeds are combined here, right? If the male was superior, having a good strength, and the female is high milching capacity, they are made together. Then the progeny is hybrid animal. It is not a pure animal, it is a hybrid animal, may be used for the commercial production or may be subjected to inbreeding. Now, this hybrid can also be used for the inbreeding, right? And selection to develop new stable superior breeds. Here we want the stable superior breeds, animals who are having a good superior and the dominating, or we can say the beneficial character. The example of such crossbreeding can be seen in goat and sheep. The Beaconary eaves is the goat, whereas Merino rams and Hisserdale are the sheets, which are used to increase the wool production, right? Next, interspecies hybridization. In this interspecies hybridization, we are taking two different species, the animals which are not related to one another. So as you can see here, the horse is crossed with the donkey. The horse is some another animal, donkey is some another animal. Two species are there. Now we are making the crossing between two different species, right? So whatever organism, whatever offspring is formed is completely sterile. It is having the desired character, but it will remain the sterile, right? Why it remains sterile? The horse contains 62 chromosomes. Donkey contains 64. After doing the half, it will produce 31. It will produce 32. So when the 31 and 30 combines, they will get 63 number of chromosomes, which cannot be halved in future, right? So this is how the offspring or the hybrid which we produce during the interspecific hybridization is always remain sterile, right? So here is your question, and your question says, which of the following is the best breeding method for animals who are below average in productivity? ऐसा कौन सा बेस्ट मेथड है जिसमें हम किसी भी एनिमल की प्रोडक्टिविटी क्या कर सकते हैं, इंक्रीज कर सकते हैं, ठीक है? A, outbreeding, B, outcrossing, C, inbreeding, and D, interspecific hybridization. So according to what is the answer, which of the following is the best breeding method for animals which are below average in productivity? Average productivity हमें increase करनी है. So what we can do? Which method which is required? So you can give your answer through this poll. Your poll is here. Just a minute, it is getting launched. Fast, give your answer. Great. Only 50% of you have given answer. 5 seconds left. Please give your answer. Okay. So guys, as you see, you have given answer the option B. That is the correct answer. The outcrossing, right? Because in this we are taking the animals from the same breed, we are taking the animals from the same species but of different breed. No, it is of all same breed, but not related to having the same ancestor, which reduces the risk of inbreeding depression. Right, you are right. So how this crossbreeding experiment takes place? We have three different methods. First is in artificial insemination. In artificial insemination, what we do, we take the semen from the best meal, right? We have taken the semen from the best male, and then we done the cryopreservation. We have done for the cryopreservation of this semen so that it will not degrade and can be used in a future time. Now this semen is injected inside the superior female, right? This is a non-surgical method. By the help of endoscope, we inject the semen in the superior female. As you can see here, the female is injected with the semen of the superior male. Now, by doing this, we increases the success rate. This helps in increasing the success rate of crossing, because we know the semen is properly carried out to the vaginal cavity of the female, and there is 100% chances of the fertilization, right? Next is MOET, that is the multiple ovulation embryo transfer technology. In this, what happened? Initially the female is injected with FSH, that is follicle stimulating hormone, that leads to the super ovulation. Now this super ovulation, the female produces 6 to 8 eggs at a time, right? In this super ovulation, after this super ovulation, we inject the semen in the female, that is artificial insemination. Now, when the artificial insemination completes, the fertilization takes place. That means these all 6 to 8 eggs get converted into the zygote, and they develop to the 8 to 32 egg cell stage, right? These all 6 to 8 zygotes will develop to the 8 to 32 cell stage, that is the blastomere and the morula stage, right? When the embryo reaches, or when the zygote reaches to the zygote or morula stage, these eggs are removed from the female. From the original female, these eggs are removed, right? These zygotes are removed. When these zygotes are removed unsurgically, that means by the hand removal, they are introduced into the surrogate mothers, right? Now, the first female which we have used to produce the egg, in that female, we have removed all the embryos and introduced them into the surrogate mother, right? So we have introduced into the surrogate mother. Now, this original female who was laying the egg is no more pregnant, right? So we can now give her the again shot of FSH so that it can produce the more eggs, right? So MOET has been demonstrated in cattle, sheep, rabbit, buffaloes, and mare, that is the female horse, and through which we have lead to the high milk eat breeds and the high quality meat producing bulls. Okay, so this helped us to increase the productivity. This is how the MOET takes place. I have already told you the procedure. Now your question is, mule is an example of what? Outcrossing, inbreeding, or crossbreeding, or interspecies hybridization. Please give your answer through this poll. The mule is an example of which? Outcrossing, inbreeding, crossbreeding, or interspecific hybridization. Okay, very good. So as everyone has given answer, so here is your result, and the result, in the result you can see everyone has given and opted for the answer D, because we know the mule is formed by the mating of horse and donkey, right? And both are belonging to the different species. So it is a process of interspecific hybridization. Now we are moving towards our next field of the animal husbandry, that is apiculture. So you can see how beautiful and how cute this bee is looking here, right? And which is roaming here and there in her beehive. So apiculture is the management and the study of honeybee. So here we are doing the rearing and cultivation, rearing of honeybees so that we can cultivate the honey and bee wax, right? You know, there is a very high demand of bee wax and the honey because of the medicinal values of honey as well as the use of bee wax in the cosmetic products, right? So it is the maintenance of hives. It requires the maintenance of hives, right, to produce honey and bee wax. As I told you, the most common Indian species which is used for the apiculture is Apis indica. And honey is the food which is having high nutritive value along with that medicinal values. Whereas the bee wax is used for the cosmetic and polishes. Now, the beekeeping is very easy. You can put the beehive anywhere, right? You can put it in the balcony, but the area in which you are putting the beehive has to be surrounded with the crop, right? It can be a fruit crop, it can be a flower crop, or it can be a any orchid, right? So that they can fertilize, they can help in the pollination of crop. And if they go for the pollination, they obtain the nectar, so that help in the production of honey. So they are placed near the wild shrubs, fruit orchards, and the cultivated crops. Now, then your question is, which of the following species is not found in India? Beta, in India, as I have not told you, in India, 3 species are found. That is Apis mellifera, uh, Apis indica, and Apis flora. The only species which is not found is Apis dorsata. Okay, so this question I have given you the answer. The species which is not found in India is the Apis dorsata. Next, and the last topic of our today is the pisciculture. Okay, guys, do you have any doubt till now? If you have, you can tell me. If you have any doubt, you can tell me in the chat box. Okay, so let's move to the fishery. As I told you, fishery is the industry of catching, processing, and selling of the fishes. Basically, the pisciculture. Here we are talking about the fishes. In pisciculture, we are basically only talking about the fishes. Whereas in fishery, we talk about the fish, the shellfish, and the aquatic animals such as prawns, crabs, lobsters, and the oysters, right? Please keep this thing in mind. There are 2 terms, fishery and pisciculture, right? Fishery belongs to the whole aquatic animal breeding, like fishes, shellfishes, prawns, crabs, lobster, and oysters. But the pisciculture is only related. The pisciculture is only related to the fish production, the rearing and the cultivation of fishes. So we have different types of fishes found in this uh, uh, field. The freshwater fishes, which are found in the lakes and the rivers, and they are commonly cultivated is katla, rohu, and the common carp. What are the names of freshwater fishes? Katla, rohu, and the common carp, right? Whereas we have the marine fishes who are able to survive only in the sea water, right? In a salty condition. So the fishes categories are hilsa, sardines, mackerel, and pomfret, right? You can see the pictures of these fishes here. We have the 4 categories in the marine fish: hilsa, sardines, mackerel, and the pomfret. Whereas in freshwater fishes, we have the katla, rohu, and Indian carp. The most commonly used variety in the Indian culture is the marine fishes. The marine fishes are most preferable over the fresh water, right? So the fishery provide income and employment of millions of the fishermen and the farmers. The aquaculture, as I said, it is a farming of aquatic organism, and pisciculture is a farming of fishes only. Okay, so it is helping in the both production of aquatic plants and animals. So here is the question for you. Out of these four options, which is not a marine fish? You can give your answer in the chat box now. That A. Hilsa, B. Pomfret, C. Mackerel, and D. Singhara. Out of these four, which one is not a marine fish? We have seen the four marine fish there, but one is not here. Which one is not here and which is the answer here? Give your answer. Which fish is not the marine out of these four? Okay, very good. You very good, Davendri. You have given a correct answer. That is, it is Singara. We have seen in the previous slide that the marine fishes are four: Hilsa, sardine, mackerel, and pomfret. But here the sardine is not given. Instead of sardine, they have given the option Singara. So Singara is the correct answer. Okay, so today's class we are going to complete this much only. We have completed the whole animal husbandry. In tomorrow's class we'll continue with the chapter and we'll cover up the whole thing related to the plant breeding. So today we have completed our animals. Tomorrow we are going to complete our plants, right? So till then you have to completely read your NCERT till the animal breeding, right? And start practicing your module questions, right? Because this will give you the idea that how much practice you require for a particular topic and how much deep understanding you have to do or how much hard work you have to make for a particular topic, right? So this is all for today. Please give your feedback through this NPS poll and after that you can leave the class. Okay, guys, give your feedback in this NPS poll. Okay. So now I'm ending this poll. We'll meet tomorrow. Okay, this is all for today. Thank you so much for the class.